Hello, everybody. To get this conversation started, I would like to share with you something about me. I'm originally from Costa Rica. Costa Rica is a developing country in Central America. For us to have a better perspective on our currency, we'll have to think that one US dollar equals roughly 580 colones. Our minimum wage per month is around 300,000 colones, which may sound like a lot, but in reality that's about $600. These conditions may seem a little bit restraining, but it has allowed people to live a comfortable life. Unfortunately, this is not the same way in every single country, in every single developing country. And providing equality for all is an issue that must concern us all. Our goal today is to explore the different systems that will benefit into a global economy. We will look into the current system, into the current state of economic systems, our outdated systems, and the benefits that we'll get from using a unified currency. Our first goal today is to understand the current state of the economy. For that, we must know what money is. Money is defined as a means of exchange. Money has value, and money has evolved in different ways throughout history. Since we were kids, we've been taught that our ancestors used cocoa, corn, and even salt as coins. This has led to different economies to evolve in different ways. And nowadays we have stronger and weaker economies. The stronger economies tend to lead the way tends to lead the way of how our economic systems behave. For this, we're going to look into California. We take the whole US system as a system and we pick into California. California was recently stated by USA Today as the fifth largest economy, putting it over the UK. This strong economy leads the way economies and industries behave. There are several regulations that businesses want to come upon or they want to meet in order to enter the Californian business. Nowadays, we see products with GMO being gluten-free or having specifics of the content. This is because California is leading the way. Most industries care more about entering the California business than they're worried about entering the Wyoming business because it's not such a big economy and doesn't really matter. If we put this into a bigger perspective, we have that there are industries that want to enter the US economy. They don't want to enter so much the Costa Rican economy or the Ukrainian economy because it doesn't really matter to them. They're not so powerful. This has created stronger economies and we have weaker economies. These weaker economies face a lot of issues. We have wars, we have civil articles, we have drug addiction, we have poverty, and I personally believe that the hardest or the most important issue is that there was stated by the UNESCO in 2016 that around 774 million individuals don't know how to read and write. The importance of this issue can be underestimated. That means that there are 774 million people out there that are not making the most out of their time here. We could have the next creator for a free or a clean energy. We can have the creator of the next big break in technology. But because they don't know how to read and write, they don't have access to other media, they don't have access to the information, and that's basically potential that's going to waste. These are some of the issues we face on our current system, and this issue these issues might be created because of the current system that we're using. Most of the economies nowadays work on centralized systems, and centralized systems are outdated. To look into this, we're going to talk about the US. We have the Federal Reserve as a central issuer. From this central issuer, we have smaller sources. The way this works is that the central issuer gives the orders and the information is distributed. But we have security issues we have security issues under this system. It was reported by the Information Security System Group on August 17 of this year that there was roughly $13.4 million stolen in around 28 countries around the world. This leads us to the next step. We're going to talk about an alternative to centralized systems. In decentralized systems, such as blockchain, we don't have a central issue. This doesn't exist. We have a network. We have a network of issuers that have the same access to information. This means that they will share the same information, and information is overridden. There's no way to attack or destroy a central system because it doesn't exist. In the case of a centralized system, it's easier for a hacker to come in and attack the central issuer and destroy the information. For a hacker to come and attack a decentralized system, it'll have to destroy. We're going to use Bitcoin as an example. 50 billion computers. It'll have to attack 50 billion computers at the same time. And with technology that we have nowadays, that's impossible. For some traditional people may say that using this kind of technology in such an important system might be dangerous, but they said the same about the typewriter and the printers. We cannot deny the benefits that using this kind of system will provide us. We will not only have safer transactions, but using a centralized system will provide us with a more homogeneous, unique, and standardized currency. We're going to look into the benefits of using a global economy now. You might have heard about the exchange rates and how they work. Usually we have a coin. We're going to use the US dollar as an example again. There are people back in Costa Rica, they like to buy dollars when it's cheaper and they'll sell it when it's higher. They'll make a profit out of it. This is a dangerous situation because having this approach, we're not seeing money as money. We're seeing money as an investment vehicle, and that will lead to either an inflation or a depression, as we saw in 2008. There are lots of people buying the dollar. There are lots of people who try to make more money out of this system, and that leads to an inflation. The money doesn't have the same values it should have. Having a centralized system, having a unique currency, will get rid of this. We'll not be worrying about buying a coin that's stronger compared to our own. As an example, back in Costa Rica, people won't be worrying about buying the dollar because it has more effect or they can have profit out of it. Money will be the same for us all. The other biggest impact that we're going to have is that having this system will get rid of the transaction costs. We have faced situations in which we might be traveling to a different country or we'll be going out of the state, and our bank wants to charge us a fee or a rate for using our credit card or debit card out there. We also have faced situations in which we don't want to buy a product from a certain company because they're charging us a fee, and we decide to use a different company. These are all transaction costs, and using one unique currency will get rid of them again. Having a homogeneous currency will get rid of exchange rates and transaction costs, making the economy the same all across the globe. In our growing economies, it only makes sense that we find ways to integrate all the economies and to make for better transactions. Having one unique denomination will make it easy for us. It will make it easy for the father in the US to send money back to his family in a different country. It will make it easier for me to travel around the world, and it will probably make it easier for you to get goods from a different country. After exploring these concepts, we must accept that not only the poor will benefit from having one centralized system, we all benefit from it. But we once again need to recognize the current state of our economy, probably the outdated system that's behind of it, to really understand the benefits that we get out of having one globalized and unified system. Thank you.